I just wanted to do a quick review of my recently completed Mosin Nagant project. It started out as a project where I was going to try to assemble a sporterized rifle kind of as inexpensively as I possibly could. As I got into it, I couldn't resist adding a few extra features like the gun coating. I also added the scope rail instead of using the front or the rear sight dovetail as my scope mount. As you can see below here, this is what I started with. This is kind of your standard $100 Mosin Nagant rifle. One above, I had taken the original stock and used it on the rifle. As you can see, I filled in the step down in the front of the stock, also filled in the finger grooves that were in the stock. To the rear, you can see I added the cheek piece, and as I shouldered the rifle, it felt like it was a little short. I added that, and it's a $10 recoil pad that I added to that, which helped out with that. Now when I shoulder the rifle, I put my cheek on the cheek piece, and my line of sight is directly lined up with the line of sight of the scope. I ended up coating this stock just with kind of a standard spray paint. Spray painted it, sanded it down, and then covered it with some True Oil gun finish. Actually turned out pretty good. And just a side comment, I will post some pictures at the end of this video that shows a little more detail of the stock refinish and the rest of the project. Just wanted to do a quick overview here. As you can see on top, I've added an ATI scope rail. Actually got the kit with the bolt and everything and ended up not using the bolt. I did that one myself. Drilled and tapped the holes for the scope rail, mounted it up, and then as you'll see in the pictures that I have at the end of the video, I used a long piece of PVC pipe to make sure that as it was tightened down, the scope was in line with the barrel of the gun. I did have to grind on the bottom of that scope rail just a little bit to get it to line up right. It wasn't anything major, but now when you tighten that scope rail down, the scope is in line with the barrel. Also added the scope rings. They were $20 heavy-duty scope rings off of eBay. The scope is a Simmons 4-12 by 40. I also got that one off of eBay. It was right at, I believe, $60 with shipping. I think listed as brand new without packaging. On the barrel, I did end up modifying it a little bit. Obviously shortened it up by about 2 inches, and that removed the front sight. I also used a method that I had seen on the Midway USA website as far as recrowning that, using a slotted brass screw with some valve grinding compound. The crown looks nice and crisp. Whether or not I get the accuracy that I need, I'll have to find out. I have not fired the rifle since I've done the modifications, so hopefully I'll maintain my accuracy. Towards the rear of the barrel, you can see where the old rear sight was. I had removed that. A lot of people will round that off or grind it off. I actually filled in around that with just a little bit of Bondo, smoothed it out. Once it's covered with the Duracoat, it looks nice and smooth. Whether or not it'll hold up, we'll find out once I start firing the rifle. And mentioning the Duracoat, I coated all of the metal parts of the rifle with Duracoat. I believe it was German Fleckered Gray. I'm really impressed with the Duracoat. It's very hard finish. And I banged the barrel around a few times and no scratches or dings or anything. On the other side of the rifle, you can see where I have redone the bolt. As you know, with these rifles, if you use the stock bolt, when you try to pull the bolt back, that bolt handle will hit the scope mount. On this one, I had actually taken the bolt off, drilled a hole through part of it so that I could insert my new bolt handle into there, and soldered it in and ground it down as smooth as I could get it. Again, it was something that's not perfect, but it was something that I could do here at home without sending it out, so I was trying to do it that way. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'm interested to get it out to the range again and try it out and see if it shoots as good as it looks. Again, I'll post some pictures here at the end of the video showing kind of the step-by-step process I went through when refinishing this rifle.